Hi everyone, my name is Arya Rajesh.
And I'm Spoorthi Marada.
We are the 10th grade representatives of White Station High School's Model UN team this year. We're here to help you guys train and learn for Model UN, so if you ever have any questions, make sure to contact us. In this video, we're going to be discussing position papers. Although these aren't required at every conference, it's important to understand how to construct and research for one. So what actually is a position paper? According to Best Delegate, a position paper is a document that describes your topic, your country's position, and possible solutions. As the name suggests, a position paper discusses the position of the country you're representing and the topic. Not every conference we go to requires a position paper, but most do. They offer awards for your writing, so make sure you try your best when writing the position paper. Position papers help you gain insight to the topic, and it creates a foundation for your knowledge on the topic for the conference.
When you're first writing your position paper, you'll need to do background research. For each committee and each conference, the chairs will provide a background guide. This just gives the initial information about the topics you'll be discussing in committee. However, you still need to do additional research. You need to research your country's individual stance so that you can understand what you'll be discussing throughout your paper. Here are some questions to consider. You don't need to specifically answer each question in your paper, but keeping these in mind while writing might help you.
When writing a position paper, you want to include the country's stance and its past actions. When starting off writing, make sure you grasp an understanding of your country's position on the topic. In past videos, we have mentioned the importance of sticking to the stance of the country you are representing, and making sure that you are never using personal opinions in position papers or even when you're talking in committee. It's also a good idea to know what your country has done in the past with the topic and find out what agreements or treaties your country has made with other countries. This is a great way to understand the topic in relation to the country you are representing, see what solutions have worked and which have not, and it helps you during committee when you're debating and blocking with other countries. The next point is to understand both national and international affairs when it comes to your topic and the country you are representing. A great way to understand how the topic has been dealt with in the past is by understanding past UN involvement, which means you can research past resolutions that have been passed and committees that have been held that deal with this issue. You can also look into supranational organizations and NGOs that deal with this issue.
Towards the end of your position paper, you need to discuss solutions. Sometimes the background guides mention possible solutions. Find out how your country would respond and implement these suggestions, if they would support them at all. Also try to find unique solutions so that you can stand out. You can use original ideas sometimes as well. Build on what your country has done in the past and always keep your country's stance in mind.
Now let's move on to how to format a position paper. Let's start with the heading. On the top left, you want to include your first and last name, your committee, the country you're representing, and your school, which would be White Station. Then for your title, you want to use your topic number, which would be topic 1 or topic A, depending on what the conference chooses to use, and then your topic name. If your committee only has one topic, you do not have to say topic 1 or topic A. Next, let's look into formatting the body of a position paper. The formatting is similar to MLA format, so use a legible font. We recommend using Times New Roman because it's easy to read and pretty standard. In addition to that, use 11 or 12-point font. Make sure to use double spacing without additional spaces in between each paragraph. This should be written in paragraph form, so make sure to indent each time you start a new paragraph.
Make sure you cite your sources. You can do this in a position paper by using footnotes. Add the footnote after the end of the sentence, like is shown in this example, where the 1 is after the period. In Google Docs, you can do this by using this shortcut or by going to Insert, then Footnote. In the footer, make sure to include the title and the article link, like in this example. This is an analogy you can use to compare the structure of a position paper to the parts of a burger. So you would start off with the introduction, and then you would move on to speak about the actions of your countries on a national level, and then on an international level, which basically means internal then external affairs.
Then you can use quotes or statistics in your paper. This is optional, but it makes your paper more coherent and easier for the reader to understand. Next, we have the bottom button. This is the most important part. This is where you discuss possible solutions that your country will discuss in committee and proposes. The burger analogy may help you remember it, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Just look at what we said before.
Here are some final tips. Make sure you edit your position paper after you're done. You can check for spelling and grammar errors and just make sure that it is understandable overall. Each topic should be around 2 pages long.
When you're using abbreviations in your essay, make sure you first start by listing the full form of the word. For example, if you're using World Health Organization in your paper, make sure you first write out the full form and then in parentheses write WHO. That way you can use WHO later on in your essay and the reader can understand what it means. After that, make sure that you understand what you're actually writing. Don't write just to write, and make sure you know the information because this is what creates a foundation for your research and what you're going to say during committee. Lastly, here are some links that can be helpful to you when you're writing your position paper. Alright everyone, that's it. We hope that this video was easy to follow and it helped you gain a better understanding of what position papers actually are. We know it may seem really confusing at first because it's so much information, but when you actually start writing, it'll make a lot more sense. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to shoot us an email and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye!